Yo, people, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another episode of Premier League predictions for this time for game week number 32. The season is nearly coming to an end, just games to go until this season's Premier League is over. You know, of course, the title race is still on, but I still believe Liverpool are going to win. But the big talking point is the battle for the Champions League because, like I said, there are six teams who can make the Champions League, and there are five teams that are going to be in next season because Arsenal beat Real Madrid, and that means that the top five puts is secured for the Champions League. So whoever finishes fifth will qualify for next season's Champions League. So even though I hate to say this, but I have to say thank you, Arsenal. Now Chelsea can have a chance of finishing the Champions League if they can make it to the top five for the from now until the end of the season. So top five is well and truly done. And also, thank goodness that is happening tomorrow. The Premier League will introduce the semi-automated offside, and I think that's a good idea. My only problem is that they could have done this at the beginning of the season. You know, I don't know why they're doing this tomorrow, but I'm glad the semi-automated offside will happen. So that surely should take the VAR less time to check on it because every time there's a check, it takes so long, even though it's tight. But I'm glad the semi-automated offside will be happening tomorrow. So the first game that will feature um for that will be Manchester City versus Crystal Palace. So that's the first game that the Premier League will introduce the semi-automated offside. So I'm glad it's happening. My only problem is that they could have done this at the beginning of the season, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. But yeah, let's just focus on the predictions real quick. So if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification so that they never ever miss any of my content. And yeah, without further ado, let's start the predictions. All right, so the first game, like I mentioned, is Manchester City versus Crystal Palace. Of course, Crystal Palace won their match against their big rivals Brighton in the M23 derby. After that game, we saw three red cards. Palace went down to 9 men. Brighton went down to 10, but Palace got the job done. Now, what I'm hoping for is for Palace to do the same thing against Man City because even though Man City drew that game, I'm looking at the table right now, and they are 1 point behind us. So if they do beat Crystal Palace, at the Etihad, that means they'll be above Chelsea with a but we play on a Sunday, so we'll get to my team in just a minute. But yeah, Man City face Crystal Palace. Um, even though I think this might be, even though I feel like this might be a Man City win, I feel like Crystal Palace can do something because don't forget, away from home, Palace are really good. Of course, they did concede away from home against Southampton, but before that, they kept 7 clean sheets in a row away from home in all competitions. In the Premier League, I think they've only kept 5 clean sheets in a row. So Palace away from home is really good. They are a really good team. So, and plus, Man City, by the way, they were awful against Manchester United. In fact, let me just look at the stats because I feel like Man United could have won this game, but they didn't. So yeah, looking at the stats here, Manchester City had 9 shots, but they had five on target and they dominated possession. But Man United had more shots. They had 13 shots, but of course they've only got two on target. So if Man United, could have won this game, I'd have been more happy. But it is what it is, man. But Man City right now, their favourites in their hands because they still have a chance of finishing the Champions League. But the likes of Newcastle, Villa, Chelsea, Fulham, and Brighton, and you could probably say both are catching up. Man City really have to win this game. But I'm thinking that this game might end in a draw, because the last Man City home game was against Leicester City, but you expect them to win. But before that, they faced Brighton and they drawn that game I think it was a 2-2 draw, something like that. Yeah, it was a 2-2 draw. So I'm thinking that this game might end in a draw. Even though I want Brighton, even though I want Crystal Palace to win, I feel like this game might end in a draw. So that's what I think. But as usual, let's just quickly go on into the stats. So Man City have lost just one of the last 12 Premier League games against Crystal Palace, going a 2-0, going down 2-0 at home in October 2021. Having lost, if they lost 6 Premier League visits to the Etihad Stadium, Crystal Palace have lost just two of the last six away to Man City in the competition, winning two and drawing two. Crystal Palace have either failed to score or scored exactly twice in their last 11 Premier League games against Man City. The team opening the scoring have won just one of the last five Premier League meetings between Crystal Palace and Man City, with the citizens winning 1-0 at Selhurst Park in March 2023. On three occasions, the Eagles have scored first in this one. They have done so in the fourth minute of each match. Wow. And finally, only league leaders Liverpool have earned more points over their last 10 Premier League games than Crystal Palace. The Eagles have won four of their last five matches and saved the last eight away from home, drawing twice. So there you go. So that's why I expect this game to be tough for City and a possibly a draw, because you can see that Palace are really good away from home. And only the league leaders have earned more points than Crystal Palace. You know, they've won seven, drawn once, and only lost twice. That's absolutely impressive. So, yeah, for this game, even though I feel like Man City might win this game, I'm gonna go for a draw for this one. I'm gonna go for a 2-2 draw. You know, if Brighton, their big rivals, can go to the Etihad Stadium and get a draw, and I feel like Palace might do the same thing, and I'm hoping that Palace, if Palace can beat Man City, then that would be great, because I don't want Man City to win this game. So yeah, and there's no Erling Haaland, and you can tell when Kevin De Bruyne left, he made that announcement. Man City drawn against Manchester United. So would this have still affect the players? We're gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm gonna go for 2-2 draw on this one. Goal scorers for Man City. I'm gonna go for Omar Mamouche, excuse me, and Jack Grealish. Then for Palace, I'm going to go for Mateta to score. You're feeling Mateta and Eze to score as well. So yeah, 2-2 draw in that game, if you know what I mean. So, you know, I would love Crystal Palace to win, but I feel like this game might end in a draw. So yeah, 2-2 draw. I'll be definitely watching that game tomorrow, along with the Chelsea women's game as well. So yeah, that's the first game, and let's hope the semi-automated offside really truly works for that game tomorrow. So yeah, man, 2-2 draw. Well, the next one is Brighton face Leicester City. Of course, Leicester City have broken the worst record. You know, 8 home games in a row that they've lost and they cannot score. And that has never happened before in English top like history. The last time this happened was 135 years ago. My God, Leicester City right now, in terms of their form, are just worse. Absolutely worse. To me, Southampton, which I'll get to, have been relegated because they did lose 3-1 against Tottenham, which I did predict correct. But for me, Leicester City will go down next. Ipswich Town, they're 12 points behind, you know, but there's 6 games to go. So do I think Ipswich Town can catch up? Possibly, but I feel like they might be also being relegated. So Southampton are relegated for me. Southampton are relegated, and I feel Leicester will join them because they go to way to Brighton, you know, and Amex to face Brighton. Of course, Brighton, like I said, did lose, but they're looking to bounce back. So Leicester City right now, I'm hoping that they can at least do something, but unfortunately for me, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, anyway, here's the stats. After losing 6 of the last 8 Premier League games against Leicester, Brighton are now beaten in five against the Foxes in the league, winning two or drawing three. Leicester have lost their last 2 Premier League away games against Brighton, have won 3 of the last 4 visits. They have never lost 3 consecutive league games against the Seagulls. Well, that's what's going to happen tomorrow, unfortunately. Brighton have lost both their last 2 Premier League games, as many of them have previous 13 beforehand. The Seagulls haven't suffered more consecutive league defeats since March 2022 under Graham Potter, which is 6 times. Leicester have lost each of their last 8 Premier League games without scoring a goal. They could become the first team to lose 9 consecutive top flight games without reply in history. Well, that's well, Leicester. Well, you can tell Leicester getting worse and worse. And finally, since hammering Wolves 6-0 on 29th of April 2023, Brighton have won none of the last 7 Premier League games played in April, drawing to a losing 5, losing each of the last 4 in a row. Well, listen, Brighton are about to break that worst record because for this game tomorrow, I see Brighton winning. So I'm going to go for Brighton 3-0 win. That's going to be my prediction because Leicester City, you just can't counter them to at least do something and score, if you know what I mean. So yeah, 3-0 Brighton. Goal scorers, Matoma, Danny Welbeck, and I don't know who else is going to score, but all I know is that Brighton are going to win 3-0. And yeah, looking at the table, like I said, I'm hoping that Leicester can do something because if Brighton do win, they'll be 3 points behind Chelsea. So yeah, Brighton are still in a conversation right now, but they have to win if they want to do that. So yeah, for me, Brighton are going to win 3-0, unfortunately. So it is what it is, man. But come on, Leicester, I'm counting on you to do something if you can. But unfortunately for me, Brighton are going to win 3-0. That's going to be my prediction, my honest prediction. So there we go. All right. The next one. Oh boy. I'm so looking forward to this one. Nottingham Forest versus Everton. Now, even though this game is at the City Ground, I'm gonna I'm gonna give you guys what my prediction is in just a moment. But first things first, um, the stats. Following their 2-0 win at Goodison Park in December, that was when David Moyes wasn't there. Nottingham Forest are looking to complete their first league double over Everton since 94-95, so 30 years ago. Everton have won 3 of the last 4 away league games against Nottingham Forest, as many they have in their previous 29 visits to the City Ground. Everton have only won 2 of the last 67 Premier League away games at sides starting the day in the top 3. Under David Moyes, they've won just one of 36 league matches against top 3 sides, beating third place Man City 2-1 in December 2010. Nottingham Forest have won 7 of their last 9 Premier League home games, more than they have in the previous 24 beforehand. The Tricky Trees have also kept a clean sheet in each of their last 4 at the City Ground, last recorded more in a row at home in the top flight in May 1980 under Brian Clough. And finally, 6 of Everton's last 8 Premier League games have been drawn, while the Toffees have drawn 14 league matches overall this season. Only 94-95, 2010, 2011, and 2012-2013 have they ever drawn more Premier League matches in a single campaign. Now listen, my head is telling me that it's going to be a Forest at least 1-0. But I'm not going to believe my brain. I'm going to believe my heart because my heart is saying it's going to be a 1-1 draw. And the reason why I'm saying this because Everton, are a really good team. And if you look at the table right now, Everton are in 15th. They're 15 points above the relegation. So, of course, they don't, but obviously next season they don't want to be in that situation again. So Everton have only lost once. So, but if you look at this year, if Everton win their game, they'll be above Tottenham at the moment. So I don't think Everton are going to win at the City Ground, but I believe they will at least get a draw. And to me, yeah, let's say if Everton do beat Forest and then we Chelsea beat Ipswich Town, we'll be 1 point behind Forest, if we beat Ipswich Town. So I would love Everton to go to the City Ground and get to win, but City Ground is a tough place to go to. So that's why I think for me that this game is either going to be a Forest win or draw. But I think for me, Everton right now under David Moyes is unbeaten. They've only lost 1 game, so far, and that was against and David Moyes have only got 2 defeats. One of them was against Aston Villa and another one was against Liverpool. Only two defeats, under David Moyes in the Premier League. It's not bad, Of course, most of the time it's been draws, but that's a really good form. So let's see what he can do next season. But I'm think for me, Everton will remain unbeaten. So I'm gonna go for 1-1 draw. I'm gonna do that. Everton, sorry, goal scorer for me. I'm gonna go for Beto. For Nottingham Forest goal scorer, I'm gonna go for Anthony Elanga. See a 1-1 draw. I would love Everton to win, you so that we can close the gap on Forest. But I just feel like this game is gonna be a draw at least. So yeah, 1-1 draw at the City Ground. I'll make sure I'll be watching that game as well. You know, actually, no, Brighton are going to win. So yeah, the games I'll be watching the 3 p.m. kicks off is Nottingham Forest versus Everton. Actually, yeah, I'll just be watching that game to be honest because yeah, the Brighton are going to win, and then we've got Southampton versus Villa. And like I said, Southampton have been relegated this season because they've lost 3-1 against Tottenham. And the fact, yeah, that was the Derby County because Derby County got relegated with 6 games to go. Southampton got relegated with 7 games to go. So yeah, so we'll see. The only way for Southampton to not break the worst record in Premier League history is just to win one game or to draw. You just win one game, and you'll see they're not worse than Derby County. But they're facing Aston Villa, which by the way, they did lose in the Champions League, but in the Premier League, they looking at the table right now. Villa um one 2 points, yeah, 2 points behind the top four. So that's why if Aston Villa beat Southampton, they can go from seventh to fourth, but both Newcastle and Chelsea play on a Sunday. So we'll get to my team in just a moment. But yeah, man. Southampton right now, you just can't trust them. So I'll get to my prediction, but first, here's the stats. Southampton lost its exact fixture 1-0 in 22-23, last losing consecutive home league games against the Villains between 1995 and 1988, which is a 1 of 4. As Villa have won their last 4 Premier League games against Southampton by aggregate score of 7-0. In their league history, only Stoke against Stoke, Sunderland, and Hull have won 5 in a row without conceding. Southampton lost 25 of their 31 Premier League games this season, winning 2 and drawing 4. They joined most league defeats in a single campaign in their history, also losing 25 times in top flight campaign. No side are longer winning one in the Premier League than Aston Villa. All right. Then the next part says the Villains haven't won 4 consecutive matches in the competition since April 2023, a 1 of 5. And finally, Southampton are without to win their last 10 whole games in the Premier League, losing 9 of them. The Saints have only once before failed to win 11 consecutive home league matches, doing so from October 2008 to February 2009 in the Championship. So yeah, you can clearly see that these stats really don't work in Southampton's favor. So listen, I would love Southampton to do something against Villa, but what I will say is that Aston Villa sometimes their form in the champion after the Champions League is not really that great. So, but listen, they're facing Southampton. For me, they're going to win. They're going to win. I would love Southampton to shock Aston Villa and all that stuff, but yeah, I don't see them winning. So yeah, the games I'll be watching is probably the Forest Everton game because Brighton are going to win and Villa are going to win. So what's the point of watching those games? So yeah, I'm gonna go for a Villa win of yeah. Let me go for 3-0. Let me go for 3-0 because I don't see Southampton scoring. Or do I see them? Actually, um, do I see? No, Villa keeping a clean sheet. Yeah, 3-0 Villa, 3-0 Villa. The goal scorers, I'm gonna go for Rashford to score. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go Marcus Asensio to score a brace and Rashford to score just a goal. So yeah, just 3-0 to Villa, man. 3-0. Southampton, I'm praying that you go marching on and try and get at least a point. But to be honest with you, I don't see that happening. So yeah, but come on, you Saints. I'll be supporting you. I'm just hoping that you can do something as a Chelsea fan. So yeah, but unfortunately, 3-0 to Villa is going to be my prediction for that game tomorrow. So there we go. And then Saturday night football, a London derby, Arsenal versus Brentford. Of course, Brentford drew with Chelsea at the Gita Kunta Stadium. In fact, both teams have drawn. Arsenal drew against Everton. But for me, the penalty, that Everton got wasn't a penalty at all. So let's hope the referee don't mess this up. But then, like I said, Brentford drew with Chelsea. So both teams have drawn, but both of them are facing each other for Saturday night, and it will be live on Sky Sports. So I will be watching that game. So yeah, man. So let's have a look at the stats, shall we? Arsenal have lost just one of their 10 home games against Brentford in all competitions, going down 2-0 at Highbury in 1938. Boy, that was a long time ago. Having beaten Arsenal 2-0 in their first ever Premier League match in August 2021, Brentford have now lost five of their last six against the Gunners in the competition. Arsenal have lost just one of their last 50 Premier League London derbies when 1-0 at West Ham in February. They scored at least five goals in five of these match of they've they've scored at least five goals in five of these 50 matches. Brentford have won their last two away London matches in the Premier League, having lost seven in a row on the road before this. And finally, since the start of December, Arsenal have conceded just 12 goals in their 18 Premier League games. They've already conceded more than once in each of those games, a 2-2 home draw against Aston Villa. So there you go, man. Um, now this is going to be tough for Arsenal because we all know that Brentford's plan is just play a low block here, the counter attack and all that stuff. So it's going to be tough for Arsenal. But it's at the Emirates Stadium, and also, let's not forget the fact that they're back at the Emirates Stadium after beating Real Madrid 3-0, on Tuesday night. So yeah, that was a big win for Arsenal, and they're looking to bounce back after that draw against Everton. So listen, for me, I would love Arsenal to drop points, so I can banter them, but it really doesn't have to do anything with Chelsea because we're not catching up to Arsenal. There, for me, Liverpool and Arsenal are definitely making to the Champions League next season. No doubt about that one. So yeah, I would love Arsenal to drop points so that I can laugh at them, but I don't see that happening. So it's going to be tough for Arsenal, especially at home. But I feel like they will get the job done. So for this game, on tomorrow, I'm going to go for an Arsenal. Oh, let's see. Should I go for? I think they've won 3-1 the last time. Yeah, on New Year's Day. Um, it's gonna be tough. It is gonna be tough. But I feel like Arsenal might win this game. So I don't know what to predict. But I might go for 2-1. If it does end 3-1, then oh well, it is what it is, man. But yeah, I'm gonna go for 2-1 Chelsea. 2-1 Chelsea. See me. I'm gonna go for 2-1 Arsenal. Goal scorers, Mika Moreno and probably Declan Rice again. For Brentford, I'm gonna go for Ibremo. So yeah, 2-1 to Arsenal. If Brentford can you know, have that performance I did against Chelsea, then yeah, maybe this game might end in a draw. But also a better team than Chelsea, so that's why I also going to win this game. So yeah, 2-1 to also tough, but they're going to get the 3 points. So yeah, 2-1 to Arsenal is going to be my prediction. All right. We move on into Sunday's game. So, first of all, we've got Chelsea versus Ipswich Town. I'm not going to talk about this too much, but we need to bounce back after that draw against Brentford. And we need to make sure if teams drop points, that we capitalize. And let's not forget, we're at Stamford Bridge. We need to get revenge because they beat us 2-0 at Portsmouth Road. So we have to win. It will be about. And let's not forget, we beat Southampton 4-0. Leicester 1-0. And I'm hoping that we could do the same thing against Ipswich. So, yeah, for this game on Sunday, I feel like we might keep a clean sheet again because It's really weird that Chelsea kept is keeping three clean sheets in a row. In fact, we're unbeaten at home and we're starting to keep clean sheets as well. So yeah, for this game on Sunday, I'm gonna go for hmm, what can I go for? I might go for Chelsea 2-0. Because I was thinking 3-0, but I'm like, nah, I don't not for me. So yeah, since they beat us 2-0, let's hope we can get revenge and beat them 2-0. See, I'm gonna go for 2-0 Chelsea. Goal scorers, let's see. Might go for Jackson if he can score. And probably Enzo Fernandez. Yeah, Jackson Enzo Fernandez to score. So yeah, 2-0 Chelsea is going to be my prediction. Another home win, hopefully another clean sheet, and hopefully for revenge. So yeah, 2-0 Chelsea. Right, the next one is Liverpool versus West Ham. Of course, Liverpool have lost their Premier League game in 2025 when they faced Fulham last Sunday. And of course, they're looking to bounce back. And they're facing the West Ham team who drew against Bournemouth at the London Stadium. So yeah, these two teams are facing each other, and this game will be live on Sky Sports, by the way. So there we go. So here's the stats: Liverpool have lost just one of their last 57 home games against West Ham in all competitions, winning each of their last nine in a row. Since during the Premier League double over Liverpool in 15-16, West Ham have won just one of the last seven against them in the competition, picking up a 3-2 home win in November 2021. I remember watching that game. Liverpool have beaten West Ham 5-1 in the Carabao Cup and 5-0 in the Premier League already this season. No English top flight team has ever scored more than 5 goals against another three times in the same season before. West Ham are without a win in their last four Premier League games, last going longer without a win in the league in February 2024, which is six times. And finally, Liverpool have won each of their last five Premier League games at Anfield. Last winning more in a row in December 2023, which is seven. The Reds have won 11 of their 13 home games since their last defeat at Anfield in the competition, Nottingham Forest, in September. So Liverpool may lost in 2025, but that was away. But this year, they remain unbeaten at Anfield. So there we go. But yeah, listen, Liverpool still need to win four Premier League games in order for them to lift the trophy. So they failed to do that against Fulham, but now they need to start winning four games in a row. Starting in the game against West Ham United. So yeah, for this game, I feel like Liverpool will bounce back. Do I see them scoring 5 goals again? Not really. But do I see Liverpool winning this game? Absolutely. So, yeah, for this game on Sunday, I'm going to go for a Liverpool win of 3-1 because I think West Ham will score, the likes of Joe Bowen, but I feel like Liverpool are going to be all over them again. Like West Ham simply cannot get to win at Anfield, just one of out of 57. And that was about 9 years ago. Absolutely crazy. So, yeah, 3-1 to Liverpool is going to be my prediction. And also, I like to say this as well. The breaking news is that Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk have extended their contract to 2 years. So both contracts will be ending in 2027. And I did say on the football terrace, if I was the owners, for me, I would keep Salah and Van Dijk. Because Salah, even though the last 7 games he hasn't been that great, he's still the top scorer and he's still got the most assists, if you know what I mean. So Salah still can win both the Golden Boot and the Playmaker Award. And Salah is a world class player, even though the last 7 games hasn't been that great. And Virgil van Dijk, like I said as well, he's one of the best defenders in the Premier League. So those are the two that I would keep. In terms of Trent, we all heard that he's going to Real Madrid. So Liverpool need to sign in, you know, a player that can be like Trent, if you know what I mean. Even though Connor Bradley plays in that position, for me, he's a young lad. So Liverpool need that experience in terms of right back. So it is what it is. But Liverpool fans, if you're let me know in the comments down below, how do you feel about Van Dijk and Mo Salah staying at your club? Do let me know. And probably I will speak to Hussam later on to see how he feels about that. So yeah, 3-1 to Liverpool. Goal scores for Liverpool. I'm gonna go for probably Luis Diaz. Who else? Cody Gakpo and Dominic Szoboszlai. So yeah, 3-1 to Liverpool is going to be my prediction for that game on Sunday. So yeah, 3-1 Liverpool. Right, the next one is Wolves versus Tottenham. Of course, Tottenham did manage to beat Southampton, but yesterday they drew 1-1 against Eintracht Frankfurt at home. So the destiny is still in Ange's hands in terms of next week. But we'll get to that game when in that moment. So yeah, Wolves versus Tottenham is a game on Sunday. So here is the stats. So Wolves are unbeaten in their last four league games against Tottenham. Last having a longer one between May 1968 and February 1970. Tottenham have lost their last two away league games against Wolves, as many they have in the previous 12. They last lost three consecutive league visits to Monaco between 1964 and 1968. Wolves have won each of their last three Premier League games, with no side currently enjoying a longer ongoing winning one in the competition. Wolves lost four consecutive matches in the top flight in January 1972. Only the bottom two sides, Southampton and Leicester, have lost more Premier League away games this season than Tottenham Hotspur, which is 9 times. Not since 08-09 has Spurs lost more away league games in a single campaign, while they've lost as many as 10 of their opening 60 matches on the road in the league season in 03-04. And finally, since Victor Perez's first game in charge in December, only five sides have won more Premier League games than Wolves. They've won as many of his 15 Premier League games in charge as Professor Gary O'Neill managed in his final 34. So there we go. Um, so yeah, listen. So listen, and look at this, guys. Wolves, um, Wolves at the moment. I need to charge my laptop. 1 sec. So yeah, Wolves at the moment are 5 points. I repeat, 5 points behind Tottenham. If Wolves beat Tottenham, they will go. They will be 2 points behind them. 2 points, and Tottenham have lost 16 games this season. And like I said, if Wolves beat Tottenham, both Wolves and Tottenham would have lost the same, which is 17 times. 17 times, that is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. 17 times that both teams will have lost. And that means that Ipswich Town, Leicester City, and Southampton would have lost more. 16 Premier League games. And with 6 games to go, like Tottenham could potentially lose 20 Premier League games this season. They could potentially do that. Boy, so Ange Postecoglou has a lot of thinking to do. So listen, I would think for me that this game might be a draw, or but I feel like Wolves can do some. I've like let's not forget that these two clubs faced each other in the Hotspur Stadium, and it was a 2-2 draw, and Wolves were very unlucky. So to me, yeah, going to Molineux ain't that easy. And like I said, and like the stat says, Tottenham have lost two away league games at the Molineux. They haven't done so 3 times in a row. So yeah, for this game, I feel like I would love Wolves to win, because I would love them to catch up to Tottenham. And can you imagine Wolves? A team most of the season fight for their lives could potentially be above Tottenham. Like that would be absolutely crazy. Like Tottenham, for me, I don't think they're going to get relegated, but I think they're in a relegations battle. If they don't fix up. So yeah, I feel like Tottenham is going to like Tottenham. They beat Southampton, but let's not forget Southampton are bottom of the league. They have to go away to Monaco, which is a tough place to go to. So for me, and so don't let this Southampton win fool you. There's a chance that Tottenham is going to win and lose the next game, and another one, and another one. So yeah, I'm going to go for Wolves 2-1 win. I'm not sure who's going to be scoring, but all I know is that Wolves are going to win this game 2-1. Many people will be very surprised, but look at Tottenham's form, you know, and look at Wolves' form. Wolves have lost 16 games, sorry, 17 games. Tottenham could lose the same game if they lose on Sunday. So that's why I ain't surprised. Ain't surprised whatsoever. So yeah, 2-1 to Wolves. It's gonna be my prediction for that game on Sunday. And then we've got Newcastle versus Manchester United. Of course, Man United drew 2-2 against Lyon. And I have to say this as well. If Onana starts this, if let's say that Onana starts this game, then I feel like Man United will get battered. But if their second choice goalkeeper starts, then maybe I still think Newcastle win, but I don't think they will score like loads of goals in this game. Now listen, Newcastle right now are in fifth place. So if they win, so let's say that Newcastle win and Chelsea lose, they'll be above us, and they got uh, a game in hand as well. So Newcastle could potentially still be above Chelsea. But listen, even though I would love to laugh at United and batter them, I would love them to go to St James Park and at least try and get a point because I don't see them winning at St James Park whatsoever. But I love Man United to at least get a point. But to be honest with you, many of the big six teams this season hasn't gone to St James Park and won. Even the top three teams haven't gone there and won. Liverpool went there drawn. Also, when they've lost, Man City went there and drew. Tottenham went there and lost. So it's only Chelsea and Man United are the teams that have to go to St James Park. So I was that's why to me I'm hoping for a draw. But to be honest with you, I see Newcastle winning this game. They're gonna win this game. So for this game on Sunday, I'm gonna go. Do I see? Now I don't see Newcastle putting three past United at all. No, not for me. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Newcastle 2-1 win. I'm gonna go for 2-1 to Newcastle because Man United right now, their faith is in their hands as well. It's Europa or nothing because looking at the table, I don't see. For me, Man United are not making to the top seven whatsoever. And m- also, let me say this as well. Let's say that if Man United lose, but then Tottenham, um, and Everton, win their games, Man United could be 15th. They could be back to 15th. And if West Ham win their game, which I don't think that's going to happen, but let's say that they do, they'll be leveled on points. So Man United need to make sure that Tottenham and Everton don't win and they beat Newcastle. Because they do that, they'll close the gap, on the top 10. They're 9-7, they're 7 points behind, but let's say that Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, and all those teams lose, and then Man United win, they'll be closer to the 10th. But I don't see Man United finishing the top seven whatsoever, or top eight, since fifth takes the Champions League. So I would love Man United to at least get a point as a James Park, but to be honest with you, I don't see that happening. So yeah, 2-1 to Newcastle. Oh yeah, I forgot to read out the stats. Let me do that really quickly. So, where am I? So yeah, following their 2-0 win at Old Trafford in December, Newcastle are looking to complete their first league double over Man United since 1930-31 campaign. Like, my God, that was like 94 years ago. Boy, Man United have lost their last two away Premier League games against Newcastle, last losing three consecutive leagues in James Park between 1969 and 1970. Newcastle have won four of their last five meetings with Manchester United in all competitions, as many they have in the previous 41 against them. Each of Newcastle's last eight victories over Man United in all competitions have been 2-0. They've won. Actually, no, I'm going to change it to 2-0 Newcastle. Yeah, let me do that. I'm going to change it to 2-0 Newcastle. Yeah, that is true. They've won none of their last 34 when conceded against the Red Devils since a 4-3 Premier League victory in September 2001. And finally, victory for Newcastle will make them the fourth team to do the Premier League double over Man United this season. The most different side to do in a single top flight campaign since 1957 to 58, which is four times. So there you go. But yeah, man, let me change it to new 2-0 Newcastle. Let me do that one because Newcastle have you have been very strong, especially with their defense this season. So yeah, I'm gonna go for 2-0 Newcastle because Yeah, their last victories, all they kept a clean sheet against Man United, 3-0 in the Carabao Cup, 3-0 in the Premier League. So yeah, let me go to 2-0 Newcastle. Let me go for a clean sheet. Goal scorers, I'm gonna go for Alexander Isak and Jacob Murphy. So yeah, 2-0 to Newcastle. It's going to be my prediction for that game on Super Sunday. And then, boy oh boy, we move on into Monday night, which is Bournemouth face Fulham. I don't think they're going to release those stats, but honestly, man, Bournemouth. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Bournemouth this so far this year. They've lost this is I believe they've lost 5 Premier League home games in a row. That is absolutely crazy. So, whereas for Fulham, I forgot their last game. Oh yeah, they beat Liverpool by 3 goals to 2. So there you go. So Fulham have taken 4 points off Liverpool this season. So not bad, not bad. So yeah, Fulham, um, I mean, for me, even though Vitality saying it is a difficult place, the fact that they've lost five home games in a row is absolutely crazy. So that's why I think for me that it's going to continue. It really is going to continue. So for me, Bournemouth, for me, so are supposed to be a team that could surprise everyone, but now they're in 10th place. They're in 10th place, and if Crystal Palace win their game against against Man City, Bournemouth will be in 10th place. I'm sorry, 11th place. So there used to be this form, they're really good form, but now Bournemouth are in 10th. So, boy, it looks like they ain't surprising anyone anymore. So it is what it is, man. But yeah, Monday night, yeah, for me, I feel like Bournemouth's home form is just that bad. I feel like it's going to continue. So yeah, my prediction for that game, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Fulham win because away from home is a difficult place. It's still a difficult place, but I just feel like Fulham are just going to create more misery on the players, the manager, especially the fans at the Vitality Stadium. So yeah, 2-1 to Fulham. Goal scorers, Alex Iwobi, Raul Jimenez. AFC for Bournemouth, I'm going to go for Justin Kluivert. So yeah, 2-1 to Fulham. It's going to be my prediction for that game on Monday. So there we go on that one. All right, so that is all my predictions for gaming number 32. Let me go for the one more time. So Saturday's games, I've gone for a 2-2 draw between Man City and Palace. I've gone for 3-0 win, 3-0 bye to win against Leicester City. Then I've gone for 1-1 draw between Forest and Everton. Fingers crossed for that one. Then I've gone for Villa 3-0 win against Southampton. Then on Saturday night football, I went for a 2-1 Arsenal win against Brentford in a London derby. Then Super Sundays games, I've gone for my team to hopefully get revenge and beat Ipswich Town 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. Then I've gone for Liverpool 3-1 win against West Ham, 2-1 Wolves win against Tottenham, excuse me, 2-0 Newcastle win against Man United. And last and not least, I've gone for a 2-1 Fuller win against Bournemouth on Monday night football. So that is it, guys. That is my predictions for game week number 32. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below where you agree or disagree on these predictions. All right, guys. So that is it. That is all my Premier predictions for gaming number 32. As you can see, the game is coming in thick and fast. So we haven't got much long until the Premier League season is over. But yeah, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you do let me know in the comments. Do let me know in the comments down below what you think of my predictions. And yeah, make sure you guys are liking, sharing, and subscribing. It's a bonus notification as well, because tomorrow there will be a match preview for the Chelsea vs Ipswich Town game and all that stuff. And yeah, I'll give you more details about the lineup, the predictions, and also the live stream because there's going to be a bit of a twist to it. So yeah, make sure you guys check it out tomorrow. But yeah, man, enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Good luck to each and every one of you. If your team can get the win, that's good. If your team draws, then fair play. But if your team lost, better luck next time. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that one. But yeah, man, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.